Hi you guys, I'm back with another video. Today we're going to talk about hair trimming and dusting. I can't remember the last time I had a trim per se. I think the last trim I had was the beginning of my hair journey. And after I got that trim, I learned how to dust from the ladies here on YouTube that I watched. And all dusting is after you have a trim, maybe 2 months after your trim, you would go in and you would, on very, very, very straight hair, you would make a part down the middle of your head and across, so you'd have 4 sections. And within that section, you will make different sections and start cutting the ends of your hair. So let me demonstrate. Okay, say for instance my hair was straight, even though it's not today. Very curly. So what we would do is we part it down the middle and make 4 sections. So let's just pretend that I did that. So okay, that's 1 section. Okay, so we take it and we make a small section out of that section. Okay, and we would put our fingers like this, and we would take our scissors and we would cut the very ends of your hair. Because if you notice, after you get your trim and when your hair starts growing back and all of those things, and you'll notice that you get very small white bulbs on the ends of your hair. And that's why, I guess that's why it's called dusting. And all you're doing is just getting rid of those little ends of your hair that comes out, that's sticking up, and you just cut it like that. And it's very important, when you buy scissors to cut your hair, you only use them just to cut your hair. Don't cut fabric with them, don't cut paper with them, don't cut anything else with them except when you're cutting your hair. That's very, very important, because you don't want to dull your hair. Dull your hair. Not dull your hair, but you don't want to dull the scissors, okay? You don't want to do that. That's a big, big no-no, okay? So all dusting does is it just promotes hair health. That's all. It doesn't make your hair grow or anything like that. It helps you to retain the length that you already have, really. Because if you didn't dust, just imagine, okay, you got your trim. Say for instance, you got your trim today. So in about, I guess, 5 months from now, I guess, if you go back to the beautician and they decide that they want to give you another trim, it may be a lot higher next time than it was before. And you don't want to, basically, you don't want the beautician to cut off more hair than is necessary. Because when I go to the beautician back in the day, every time I needed a trim, my hair would get shorter and shorter and shorter. And I was like, what's going on? All of my hair is this damaged, and I knew that. But sometimes beauticians can be wrong. Just because someone went to school and they spent all of these hours doing this or that, that doesn't particularly mean that they're right and that what they were taught was right, you know. And that's just not always the case. And so it's very, very important for you, when you're not going to the beautician, to take care of your own hair. Because some people can't go to the beautician every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, maybe it may be a month or whatever. But so it's very, very important for you to take care of your hair when you're not going to the beautician. And I kind of don't recommend you going to the beautician very regularly like that, unless you really, really have to. Because just think about all of the heat and just the curling irons and the hair dryers and all of those things are really damaging to the hair. And most of the time you're not getting the conditioning that you really need. Because I condition my hair, whenever I wash my hair, I would condition my hair to like 3 hours. And I know some may say, wow, 3 hours, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it may be 5. If I take a nap, it could be 5, you know? So, I mean, so it's just very important for you to take care of your hair whenever you're not going to the beautician. And don't be afraid to ask the beautician to try different products on your hair. I know whenever I go to the beautician every 4 months, he would always put different products in my hair that I don't use whatsoever. But don't be afraid to say, well, I want to use this on my hair because I use this on my hair and this is what my hair is accustomed to, and all of those things. So don't be afraid. Just speak your mind. It's your hair at the end of the day, and that's just it. So basically that's all I have for today. I'm sorry I didn't touch on this in my other video, but I really wanted to make it a point to talk about trimming your hair. Make sure when you go and get that trim, make sure a month and a half to 2 months later or whatever, if you begin to see little bulbs coming on the ends of your hair that look white, that are beginning to be like a split end basically, that you would make your hair very straight. In order to do this, part it in 4 sections like I said before. Within that section, you make a smaller section. Take your fingers, put your hair in between. I'm not even doing it right myself. Okay? And you go down, and whatever little pieces of hair that are sticking up, you just cut. Cut all the way down. And I promise you, that will solve your problem, because that has solved mine. And so I guess that's a wrap. So until next time, see ya. Love you. Bye.